Today we're going to be changing a rear wheel bearing on a 2009 Dodge Grand Caravan. Raise and support the back of the vehicle using a floor jack and jack stands so you can remove the rear tire. Remove the rear wheel. Next, remove the brake caliper, brake saddle assembly, and the rear rotor. Two 13mm bolts hold the caliper on. Two 18mm bolts hold the saddle on. Next step, undo the ABS sensor wire. Just follow it up till you find the connector. Yeah, there it is. We're going to undo this connector right here. To disconnect a connector, you first must release the secondary tab. See if I can do this where you can see it. Gotta pry that up. Slide that out. Now you gotta push down on the lever here. Now just follow the wire back and undo it anywhere it's fastened up to the vehicle. One last connector holding the harness onto the vehicle right here is this Christmas tree clip. I'm just going to cut that off with a side cutter because the new wheel bearing comes with a replacement clip. There, now my harness is all undone. Just hanging there all so gingerly. There are 4 bolts holding the hub onto the vehicle. They're located in behind these holes right here. There are 17mm bolts holding them on. Let's undo those bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. With all 4 bolts removed from the hub, just requires a little persuasion to get it off. There it is. The backing plate for the rear brake rotor is also sandwiched between the hub and the spindle here, so it's going to fall on the ground just like it did on me. But we put the new one in, we want to make sure we put this back. Time for a coffee break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Now we can continue working that I have a fresh coffee. The next step is we want to clean up inside the spindle here and the surface where the bearing meets. I want to make sure it's nice and clean and true for the new bearing to sit onto. I'm just applying a little bit of anti-seize to the inside of the spindle where the bearing's going to sit. Hopefully stop it from corroding in there. So next time I change it, it'll actually come out. Just fish a couple bolts through there where the spindle's off. I'm going to put my socket on the back side so I can turn it as I hold the new bearing and the backing blade up to the spindle. I fished the ABS wire to the opening in the back. I'll just drop that down there for now, apparently. It's kind of an awkward spot to start the bolts because you can't get your hands down in there. There. 2 of them are in, 2 more to go. If you look up from the bottom of the axle control arm assembly, you can actually see the location of the lower bolts. This makes it a bit easier to guide them in. Just have to finish tighten up all the bolts on the hub. Lots of salt is used on the roads here, and corrosion's a big issue. Just kind of thread a lug nut on to hold the rotor tight to the hub for reassembly. It makes my job a bit easier. Next, we install the caliper saddle. Don't forget to put the e-brake bracket here through the top bolt of the saddle when you reassemble it. And yes, I'm having a hard time with this for some reason. Started. Bolt number 2. Just drop your light in the ground right there this time. $13mm here bolt. You install that on that bracket on your brake saddle. And don't forget to install your 13mm bolt here that holds both the e-brake cables back in place. Install the brake pads next. Squealer tab goes on the inside, facing down. So the rotor turns this way. The squealer tab should be on the bottom, so if it hits, it pushes in towards the pad and not away. Reinstall the caliper. Reinstall my caliper bolts, 13mm, into the slide pins. Now that the brake is all reassembled, the rotor's on, we have to go ahead and reinstall our ABS cable, wire, sensor, whatever you want to call it. Plugging the sensor back in. Make sure you get it all the way down so you hear a click. Push your secondary tab back in. Just give it a pull, make sure it's not coming apart. And we're all done with the sensor. Brakes are reassembled, the rotor's back on, ABS sensors routed and plugged in. Now it's time for finishing touches and we're going to put the tire on. Oh, no ABS light, that's a good thing. Pump up your brake. And now it's time for a road test to verify the repair. Thank you for watching my video. Have any questions or comments, leave them down there.